Hi, I'm Thomas Calabro. Catch me tonight on Melrose Place, here on ATV.
Can I have a B flat, please? Hello, a B flat? Hey, they're doing their own thing, which is kind of what jazz is all about. We're going freeform tonight, live at 5.
Now, from the ATV News Center at every city and town in the Maritimes, this is the ATV Evening News, live at 5.
Good evening and welcome to Live at 5 for Monday, the 18th of July. I'm Nancy Regan.
And I'm Paul Mennier. Here's a look at some of the stories ATV reporters around the region are working on for tonight's show.
I'm Connell Smith near Belisle, New Brunswick, on a hike with young counselors in training. We'll have more coming up.
Also tonight, a remarkable personal story, an American whose books have become top-grossing Hollywood films. He's making his home away from home right here in the Maritimes, his story tonight.
And Paul's remarkable plays of the weekend promise lots of oohs and ahs. It's a world-class edition. Later.
All coming up on the Monday edition of Live at 5. First, let's check in with Bill Mackay, working on the ATV Evening News at 6. Bill?
All right, thank you, Paul. Good evening, everyone. Tonight, the shocking death of a maritime infant. A 29-year-old Halifax man is in court to face charges in the death of his infant son. Darren Frederick Vino is charged with second-degree murder after 5-month-old Devon Zwicker died of head injuries. The story tonight at 6. Fishermen who set up a blockade off the coast of Cape Breton have run into a roadblock of their own. A judge has issued an injunction against those protesters. But will those fishermen defy the courts? The story at 6. The inquiry into sex abuse at the King's Clay Reform School is back on. Today, a New Brunswick cabinet minister takes the stand. A look at the events leading up to the arrest of Carl Toft. The story at 6. Now it's time for our first look at the weather forecast with meteorologist Steve Weigel. Steve?
Thanks very much, Bill. Enjoy the evening because we have a few showers pushing in overnight as a disturbance pushes in from the west. Tomorrow those showers taper off in the morning and then sunny breaks by afternoon. I'll give you the complete weather forecast later in the show. Bill.
All right, Steve, thank you. Reunited, and it feels so good for families across the Maritimes. After 3 months off the coast of Haiti, HMCS Terra Nova is back in a friendly port. The ship was part of the UN force enforcing trade sanctions against Haiti. More at 6. And now back to Paul and Nancy.
Thank you, Bill.
And first at 5 tonight, troubled youth. Teens face more problems today than ever before. Family trouble, a lack of jobs, and peer pressure often take their toll. And there are simply not enough group homes to deal with the problem in our region.
Tonight, ATV's Peter Ryan tells us a group home in Amherst will close its doors later this month. And the counselors that work there say that's a big mistake.
It costs approximately $50,000 a year per child to take care of a child in a facility like Ramsey House, and they're saying those dollars could be spent better elsewhere. What we're saying is we think the dollars are spent fine right here on these children.
Ramsey House is privately owned and operated by Family and Children's Services of Cumberland County. They declined our offer for an on-camera interview. However, in a news release, they stated declining resources as one of the main reasons for the planned closure. Ann March has worked at Ramsey House from day one and is upset over the whole deal.
I think the impact is for children in the province. It means children that may not fit into other placements in terms of foster care are going to be left without group home beds. It means that these kids aren't going to have placements, that waiting lists will be longer in other facilities.
This is Mike. He's a 14-year-old who's having trouble. He's been at Ramsey House since May, and in fact, they can't find another placement for him.
Places like Ramsey House, do you think they serve a purpose for people? Are they good?
Yeah, they're supposed to help you.
Has it helped you a bit?
Yeah.
And staff here at Ramsey House fear that other operators of group homes just like this one will do the same thing, close the doors. That will put more kids out on the street in a system that's already taxed to the limit. In Amherst, Peter Ryan, ATV News.
Thank you, Peter. Estimates of homeless teens run close to 30,000 each year in Canada, and it certainly looks like the trend holds true in the Maritimes. Homeless teens and young adults rather, flock to the streets of Halifax, and street workers say they come from all over the Maritimes. ATV's Tiffany Hussey was on the streets today and has more on the plight of what's becoming an epidemic in the Maritimes.
So where do you go, like, to change and to eat and stuff like that?
Oh, I go like to Hope Cottages and the churches and stuff like that. I just get up early and come down here and sit down by the library till like about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I sneak up in there and...
Do you have to be careful though? Like, what about people trying to rip you off?
Oh, I never had that problem with people trying to rip me off because I don't know nothing.
Many say depressing economics and a terribly bleary home life somehow makes the streets look appealing.
Oh, he gets money on the streets. Dumps money on the side of the street. Go to Harvey's.
Go to where?
Harvey's, right over there.
And what do you do at Harvey's?
Eat, fries, hamburgers, everything.
They hang out on streets, in abandoned buildings and empty cars.
Everybody hangs out down in front of the library down there. That's where everybody hangs out at.
What about at nighttime? Where do you all sleep?
Well, like I usually go back to my girlfriend's and sleep there, and then I get up early in the morning. And
Linda Wilson of Halifax's Phoenix House will have a brand new facility open in 2 weeks that'll offer the homeless practical privileges.
The Phoenix Center for Youth, and that will be a walk-in service where kids can come in, do their laundry, have a shower, see a counselor. We'll have a nurse on staff, with the long-term objective always being that they get into safe housing.
In Halifax, Tiffany Hussey, ATV News.
And there is another option for people who find themselves on the street, youth in particular, and that is Operation Go Home. Joining us now to talk a little bit about that is Tammy Fougere, who is an outreach counselor with the operation. Tell us a little bit about your program. What do you attempt to do?
Well, what we attempt to do is to reunite the kids with their families. We also offer mediation between the parents and the children. We offer long-term counseling, and we just want to give them a safe place.
Now, how does this happen? Is it mostly parents who are calling the Operation Go Home program, or is it the kids who are on the streets?
No, the kids have to come into the office themselves, or they can call, and we go through the procedure from there, but it has to be the kids that initiate it.
Right. How long have you been operating in the Maritimes now, Tammy?
The Atlantic office opened in '91, and we've had offices across Canada since '71.
What kind of a response are you getting?
Well, last year we helped 548 kids just in the Atlantic provinces.
Over 500 kids.
Yeah.
I guess that points to, you know, a need for this organization. Would you say that the homeless problem is epidemic in the region?
Well, Halifax does have a street culture. It seems to attract the kids to come here. They think they can find work, or they just think they can be independent, but they find out different when they get here.
Yeah. So what's the ratio? Is this mostly rural kids who are coming to the city, or is it kind of an even split between urban and rural kids?
Well, it's kind of even, but mostly it's people from smaller places. They come into the city to see if they can get away with more, I suppose, or just get into a bigger place.
Of those 500 plus cases that you've dealt with in the last year, have there been a lot of success stories? Have you managed to bring families back together?
Yes, but a lot of times that it doesn't happen so easily, and we just offer mediation, and most of our children get into like vocational programs, education. They go back to school, and they find a safe place to live.
But the bottom line is that the kids have to approach you, right?
Yes, it has to be the kid that initiates it.
Yeah, we've got a phone number we can put up on the screen here, Tammy. It's 1-800-668, I think it's 4663, is that right?
Yes.
And so if there are kids who are watching tonight who are on the street, who've had some divisions in the family, who don't think that they can bridge the gap with their parents and return home, you're there to help, right? Is that it?
Yes, our local number is 423-7681, and we're located in the lower level of Scotia Square Mall.
Okay, so that's for anybody watching in the Halifax area, and again, that toll-free number we have up on the screen is nationwide. All right, thank you, Tammy.
Okay, you're welcome.
Tammy Fougere is an outreach counselor with the program Operation Go Home. Nancy?
Thanks, Paul. Our focus on youth continues now, but we're going to turn from the subject of crisis to an example of a maritime program that has been providing a good foundation for young people for a long time. Every year, a group of young people from around the Maritimes participate in the YMYWCA's Counselor in Training program at Camp Glenburn near St. John. Well, for 8 weeks, they canoe, kayak, work with children, and develop leadership skills. ATV's Connell Smith is standing by in St. John. And Connell, you went for a hike today, I understand.
Oh, I sure did, Nancy, and I'm really sore right now. I accompanied 16 young teenagers on a hike into Regan Falls, and I was really impressed with the openness and self-assurance of the members of this group.
Okay, let's go.
Hike leader Erica Jones is known as Star at Camp Glenburn. Everyone here has a nickname. That's part of the experience. Another is lots of physical exercise and interaction with nature. Today it's a spectacular hour-long hike through the woods. Erica is Earth Education Director and misses no opportunity to inform.
And it hasn't been used for years, but even so, how do you think that we're going to get rid of this garbage?
Regan Brook has to be traversed at least 8 times along the way. The group is on the 3rd week of the program, and they appear relaxed together. They have just returned from a 4-day hike in Fundy Park. Along with extended hiking and canoeing trips, each of these counselors will spend up to 36 hours by themselves in the woods. Known as solos, the experience helps build self-reliance. When we reach Regan Falls, everyone is ready for a swim.
They grow as a group, and they grow to understand other people and other people's needs, and they help others, and they're growing as people inside. And
they need to help each other to get up the hill, or to carry the pack, or to make the tent, and to do the different things like that, that they're naturally beginning to cooperate with each other.
The young CITs are aware of the experience they're gaining this summer.
We're working on initiatives, like seeing things that have to be done and doing them, and it will always stay with us, I think.
I'm sure it'll influence it. I'm positive that, yeah. And of course it'll help down the road when I'm choosing something in the future, a job or something like that.
While they learn, the teenagers practice their leadership skills with young children at the camp. Nancy, a lot of these young counselors in training came up through Y camps. They started attending the Y camps when they were young, and the Y helps people because if you can't afford to pay, if your family can't afford to pay, they will foot the bill, and they raise money in the community to help them do that. So there's no reason why anybody can't take part in these Y camps.
Did you have fun today, Connell?
I sure did. I'm going back there as soon as I get my muscles back in shape.
All right. Now, is this an experience that you took part in as a child, too?
Unfortunately, no. I lived way out in the country. We didn't have any camps, and I don't know why we didn't start. It just wasn't part of my experience as a kid, but it sure looked like a good time.
Well, I went to Camp Wapameo near Yarmouth, which is a Y camp, and I know how hard everybody there works. It's a lot of fun. Thanks, Connell.
Thank you.
And I guess we should, give a lot of respect and kudos to people in the Maritimes who work as volunteers to give foundations like that to young people, and also those who respond to young people's crisis across the region. Well, coming up, it's festival season here in the Maritimes, and over the summer we'll play host to the Scottish Festival, the Irish Festival, a quilting festival, you name it, we're doing it. This week is no exception. There is another music festival underway. We have All That Jazz next on Live at 5. Stay with us.
Are you experiencing hair loss? Whatever the reason, Pearly Gocho and Atlantic Max, 1269 Mountain Road, Moncton.
With her under too tight. She doesn't like a leash.
No? Oh dear.
I usually let her outside, but down here the water, I'm scared she's going to take off in it.
The people that you meet, one of our ATV News videographers out and about at Black Rock Beach in Halifax today, and that fellow didn't have much to say, but the tourist who brought it along to the beach was more than willing to let us take a few pictures, and obviously gathered a little bit of a crowd at the beach as well.
Is that an iguana?
I do believe it's an iguana, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
They love the beach.
Kind of a creepy-looking character, isn't he?
They are beasts of the beach, no question. Well, they're jazzing it up in Halifax these days. The 8th Annual Atlantic Jazz Festival got underway on the weekend, and Maritime jazz fans are expected to come out in full force for what looks like a terrific lineup of talent.
I had a chance to tune in the festival today. Take a listen. summertime and the living is easy. That was certainly true for the Maritimers who took in this outdoor jam session today. This is just a taste of what's in store for jazz fans who are in the Halifax area this week for the annual Atlantic Jazz Festival.
I want to know how you got this tough assignment to be sitting out here in the bright sunshine listening to the great jazz.
Well, it's our lunch hour and we just work here in the building, so we'll be out here all week.
Look at my contract. It's in your contract. How did you work that deal? Just lucky. There are rumors that your daughter is the youngest jazz fan here. Do you think that's true?
She's one of them. She's one of the youngest.
Does she like it?
Yeah, I think she does. She recognizes a few songs.
I don't want to go back to work. Well, Scott Crocher's not just a passive spectator here. Scott is the president of Jazz East.
That's right, yes.
And you've had a big hand in organizing this whole festival. Are you excited about how it's going so far?
Oh, tremendously so. We've had a lot of success. The turnout to the crowds have been just wonderful. The musicians have been brilliant, and there's a lot more to come.
All right, now these musicians who are on stage right now are students, and that's a very special focus for you this year, isn't it?
Yes, it is. This is our second year with our tribute to jazz educators, and this is important because this is really the future of the music here. Having these young players involved, getting them on the bandstand, getting them some exposure to the public. I mean, it's just a wonderful thing, and they're great young players, so, you know, the future, it bodes well for the future of jazz.
Well, I guess one of the great things about this festival is that it showcases local talent and national and international stars, and there are some great ones this year. Who are you most excited about?
Oh, there's some wonderful players. The highlight, I guess, overall is the great piano players that are coming to town.
Those are the sweet sounds of Maritimer Don Palmer on sax, teamed up with Fred Hirsch, an international star who's been described as one of the few brilliant musicians of this generation. This New Yorker says his trip to the Atlantic Jazz Festival has been memorable.
So often I come into a festival and I see nothing but a hotel, concert hall, an airport, maybe a restaurant, and then I'm gone. It was nice yesterday to be able to get a chance to drive around. We went out to Peggy's Cove, and I got to at least see something of the area. And
so you're tasting our maritime hospitality?
Absolutely. I had a lobster roll off the road, and, it's really been nice to be here.
I could listen to him all day, and you can listen to Fred Hirsch. He's playing at the Holiday Inn in Halifax Center tonight at 10 o'clock. A truly talented individual.
Yeah, a lot of talent at this festival, and in the words jazz lingo, I guess, cool, man. Very cool, because a lot of these big name guys are, I would think, leaving an impression on some of our local talent. And they're no slouches either.
Well, that's right. There is some spectacular music happening, but there's also a lot of cooperation and learning going on. There are workshops, there are lectures, so everybody's sharing their experience and their knowledge, and I think that's a really interesting thing to see happening as well.
Sounds
great for Maritimers, and it runs until June 24th, so if you're in the Halifax area, try and drop in. Just call the Atlantic Jazz Festival for any information you might need.
All right, still to come on Live at 5, Maritimers in the Milestone Spotlight.
And Jumpin' Jovians.
Jovians.
Jovians,
yeah,
thank you very much.
Not that there are any.
No.
Because they don't
Jumpin'
exist.
Jovians.
Yeah.
Would you do it, please?
Comet Levy Shoemaker makes an impact.
Than any natural disaster that has occurred on Earth.
The latest from outer space when Live at 5 returns. Explosive TV.
Hi, Kelly.
Smile, Zach.
And welcome back to Live at 5. A lovely day throughout the Maritimes to feed the pigeons, if you were so inclined. Steve Weagle standing by with the complete maritime weather forecast. Yeah, don't forget to feed the ducks,
One
too.
hungry duck.
That's coming up just a little bit later. But first, G stands for gone, H for about to hit. Both letters, as you know, are names of fragments of Comet Schumacher-Levy 9, which has been slamming into Jupiter piece by piece.
And as Miles O'Brien tells us, the view from here on Earth has been expected to get better and better.
Fragment G made quite an impact on the solar system's largest planet. When it lanced the atmosphere of Jupiter, it belched a huge plume.
The energy for nucleus G hitting Jupiter would have been about 6 million megatons.
Yeah.
That's about 400 times the world's nuclear arsenal.
Even before this image was released, astronomers the world over were bubbling over with gee-whiz excitement. The Hubble Space Telescope captured this shot of the impact zones C, A, and E. Astronomers now estimate the dark regions are larger than the diameter of the Earth.
That's a sobering thought. I mean, I'm just thankful that this is happening to Jupiter and not here, because it would be larger than any natural disaster that has occurred on Earth, and it would have dire consequences if this were happening on Earth.
Over the weekend, the Hubble offered a glimpse of the immediate aftermath of the first comet collision. The plume rises 600 miles above the atmosphere, leaving a 50,000-degree hotspot on the huge planet. Infrared images, which measure heat, show the spots lingering. Astronomers aren't sure how long they will last, but after weeks of downplaying expectations, they now believe amateur astronomers might be able to see Jupiter's new pockmarks.
We were discouraging people before the impacts began, but if you have a pretty good telescope, you should go out and look.
Amazing
fascinating stuff.
Yeah,
Sure
no
is.
question about it. And Steve Weigel will tell us about the cloud conditions shortly. You know, we always seem to have lots to celebrate in the Maritimes, and we have no shortage of special people marking significant milestones tonight, so let's get to it. Dorothy and Holly Reese of Young's Cove, New Brunswick celebrated their golden anniversary over the weekend. Their 2 daughters and 2 grandchildren, and many family and friends send them love and congratulations. We have one milestone to catch up on from yesterday. Lorraine and Art Roach celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary yesterday. Best wishes from 2 children, 6 grandchildren, 2 great-grandchildren, family and friends. Robert and Eileen Tucker are marking their golden anniversary today. Congratulations from their 10 children, 19 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. George and Mary Lynch of Woodville, Kings County, Nova Scotia, were married 50 years ago today. Love and best wishes from 10 children, 22 grandchildren, and 9 great-grandchildren.
And take a look at this shot. It was taken in New York City, July 18th, 1944. Captain R.C. Cliff Willis and his wife Dottie celebrate their 50th anniversary today. A surprise party was held for them over the weekend in Lower 3 Fathom Harbor, with family and friends attending from as far away as Texas. Love and best wishes from 3 children and 2 grandchildren and their family and friends. By the way, if the maid of honor looks familiar, she should. It's actress Audrey Meadows before she became a honeymooner. Isn't that something? And we have one special birthday today. This is Josephine McIsaac of Bunbury, Prince Edward Island. She's celebrating her 100th birthday today. Josephine is the mother of 7 children, grandmother of 22 grandchildren, and has over 30 great-grandchildren. So it would appear there's lots of love being sent her way today. Congratulations to all our milestone folks, and if you have a reason to celebrate today, all the best from all of us in the newsroom. I just got off vacation and I cannot talk.
That's okay, Nancy.
I haven't done this in a while,
and I
Paul.
have just as many problems as you. Lots more to come in Live at 5, including Steve Weigel's weather.
And we also have another installment of ATV on your side. Yvonne.
Nancy, tonight it's Mailbag Monday, but in addition to that, a warning about a company that's dropping names. And we'll also have this story still to come on Live at 5.
For some, life's highway can be a very smooth journey. For others, the road can be filled with life-threatening potholes. I'm Bill Jessam, and later in this hour, a very personal story of how a special way of life in Nova Scotia helped a father and a husband find his way back to a family place.
And later, it's your summer salvation. You enjoy the weekend. We stay indoors and monitor TV and roll all the important and noteworthy moments into a fun reel called The Plays. And what a weekend it was. That's coming up later. Drive home traffic in the Twin Cities looking pretty light, as you would expect. Summer in full swing in the Maritimes.
Another gorgeous day.
Yeah, we've
Thanks
just had a real good string of beach days here. I think
Vacation
everybody
days.
and their dog was at the beach yesterday, and probably the same case again
Did you
today.
take your dog?
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
no,
Not good
left
for the,
the
not
dog
good
at
for the
home.
piping plovers, they say. So anyway, actually a couple of questions here for Steve Weigel. Should we be looking for Jupiter? Will we have the right conditions? That is a cloud-free night. And if we were looking for Jupiter, where might we find it? Steve?
Well, right now, Jupiter is very easy to see in the sky. In fact, it's directly in the southwest, and it's up almost halfway in the sky at night, and it'll last for a few hours before it sets. Very easy to see, but it won't be tonight because we have quite a bit of cloud rolling into the Maritimes. Tomorrow night should be a good night to view Jupiter, though. Let's start off with the jet stream first across the country, and we've still got a flow just north of the Maritimes, and that means seasonable and warm temperatures. In fact, Greenwood hit 28 today. as did Chatham and some other areas in New Brunswick. Another warm day across the Maritimes. We got a trough in across the Great Lakes and a couple small ridges and troughs through the western provinces. So generally seasonable temperatures right across the country. The big satellite photo shows a large area high pressure up over Hudson Bay right now, with a trough extending through Quebec and down the eastern seaboard. This is all going to push through later tonight and tomorrow. In fact, the leading edge is already into western New Brunswick. We'll see a few showers overnight and tomorrow morning, but that's good because the wells are getting very dry right now. We're very low in the rainfall for July, and we need all the rain we can get. It looks like it'll just be a sprinkle low, 5 to 10 millimeters expected before this system passes by. And then high pressure back in the Great Lakes right now will push in for Wednesday and later Tuesday, and we'll see more sunshine. Back to the west, another system pushing through Saskatchewan is giving some clouds and showers, and generally fair weather skies through Alberta and BC right now. Just a few clouds and warm temperatures. The close-up of our region, well, the system is just now starting to push in. We're seeing some high cloud through the region, and we've got a couple of systems in down to our south in these red enhanced areas, and they're staying to the south. That's some thunderstorm activity. But this trough right here will slide through during the night and tomorrow morning and give us a bit of shower activity. We can see in the last 24 hours how this system has organized. A lot of cloud at first, and then you can see quite a trough develops in the last 24 hours, and that will sweep through. Clear skies in behind that, now pushing through Ontario, and it looks like pretty good for Tuesday afternoon. Still the forecast overnight. We'll see increasing cloud right across the region and then showers before dawn right across the Maritimes. If you live along the coast, coastal fog will develop overnight and it'll push inland a little. 15 to 16 degrees, a warm night across the region, and there'll be a southerly breeze at about 20 kilometers an hour. Then tomorrow, we have a few morning showers. Bring your umbrella to work. They push out in the morning, though. We've got some afternoon sun for New Brunswick and mainland Nova Scotia, but mainly cloudy skies for Prince Edward Island and Cape Breton. Could see a hint of sun maybe around supper time, but other than that, cloudy skies. And the fog will persist until the sun breaks out in the afternoon. 22 to 26 right across the region. And for Wednesday, lots of sunshine, high pressure builds in, 27, another beach day, beautiful warm weather. And then we've got increasing clouds and showers for Thursday, 27 again, and then showers and mainly cloudy skies for Friday, 26 degrees. So we're looking at a few showers tonight and tomorrow morning, and then sunshine returns for most areas. Guys.
Terrific. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. And a wonderful story now. Our maritime way of life was the medicine that saved an American writer from destroying his life.
The recent Canadian bestseller, A Family Place, written by Charles Gaines, tells of life in the fast lanes of New York and Hollywood, and how a tranquil setting in Nova Scotia helped him get his life back together.
ATV's Bill Jessam has more tonight.
All of us have a sort of base to our lives, and when the pursuit of money starts to impinge on that base or to erode that base is when you have to stop and take a long look at how you're living your life.
His name is Charles Gaines, born and raised in the Deep South, Alabama to be exact. He lived the American dream, a real success story. He has a special and rare gift, the ability to put words down on paper that not only make sense, but tell a great story as well. And that spells money, power, and instant celebrity, everyone's dream. But did success spoil Charles Gaines? It nearly did. And he can tell you that money and fame does not buy what really counts in this world.
I've got some friends and some contemporaries who are an answer to that. You know, some of them are alcoholics. That's one traditional way to go. Some of them have been through 4 or 5 marriages, which is another way to go, and a way that it appeared for a while that I was in danger of going. I think the key to happiness, as I've been able to determine it or find it, is to stay true to yourself and true to your goals for yourself. To learn as early on in life as you can what really makes you happy and keeps you happy. In my case, it was family and work, and to make those things the center of your life.
Charles Gaines published his first novel in the early 70s, Stay Hungry, about bodybuilding. He was on his way. Stay Hungry was made into a movie starring Jeff Bridges and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Charles Gaines also wrote the national bestseller, Pumping Iron. This boy wonder of the literary world was going Hollywood fast, living on the edge. A rude awakening came while on a fishing trip to Australia, a trip his wife Patricia was was against.
I knew I shouldn't go, and I just said, the heck with it, I'm going to go anyway. And I went and called Patricia from Australia at one point during that trip, and she, over the course of this long, miserable phone conversation, she said, I want a divorce. She said, first of all, come home. And I said, no, I can't do it. You know, I'm busy, it's my business. And she said, okay, I want a divorce. So it was at that point I realized that I had, you know, I was this close from disaster. On that long trip back from Australia, I just kept thinking to myself, how could you have gotten so far away from what it is that you set out to want in life? You know, which was a wife who loved you and who you loved, a family, kids who were close to you, quiet, peace, the freedom to work, a beautiful surrounding. How could you have gotten so far away? And, you know, so I got back to the U.S., and I just decided, well, I may not be able to get it back, but I'm going to give it the best shot I can. I'm going to do everything I can to try to get it back and pray and hope that it works. And luckily for me, it did.
It was time to put the pieces back together. So Charles, Patricia, and their 3 children, along with a couple of close friends, came to Nova Scotia, to a place called East Tracadie, an Acadian village on the Northumberland Strait. The building of a new life included a place to live. The family built a cabin, a writing shack for Charles, and a studio for Patricia. Above all else, Charles Gaines is a writer, so he squirreled himself away in his one-room shack, a place without electricity, talk about getting back to basics, and in longhand wrote of his past life and the rediscovering of those values of family and self that were nearly lost.
So the present time of the book is about the building of the cabin and the summer that we spent up here, the storms that we weathered and the people that we met and so forth. The past time of the book is the life experiences that Patricia and I and our children had been through that resulted in our buying this land. And so many of the experiences that we just talked about, how close I'd come to losing all these things, the high life that we led during the 70s and 80s and so forth, is covered in the book. The last half of the book is a sort of resolution that describes how this place has come to stand for me and my wife for regeneration, a new birth of old values, privacy, and simplicity.
Charles is a realist. He knows not what tomorrow brings. He and Patricia take life one day at a time and together.
I can say that I'm honestly content with my life now. I'm doing work that I think is important. I've just started a novel. I've got a woman who I love and love to wake up next to in the morning after 32 years of marriage. I've got 3 wonderful children, and I've got this beautiful place to live here in Nova Scotia. So I can honestly say that I am, yeah.
In East Tracadie, Nova Scotia, Bill Jessam, ATV News.
Interesting guy, and I guess it's no surprise that Charles Kane's latest book, A Family Place, has been bought for a CBS Movie of the Week starring James Woods.
One to watch for. And coming up on Live at 5, a missing magazine subscription, a never received GST rebate. Yvonne Colbert is on your side next.
If you're waiting for a big deal and a whole lot more, the buck stops here at your Atlantic 40 Mercury dealers. We're coming through with the biggest bang for your buck on 94.
This one's yours. Magic Mountain invites you to a wet, wild, and wet. After lunch, challenge yourself to 8.
Off for a British Airways Concorde. It made an unexpected stop in the Maritimes on the weekend. It was en route to New York from London yesterday when pilots discovered an oil leak in one engine. Majestic-looking craft. A crew from Kennedy Airport in New York was flown in to fix it, and as you can see, it left Halifax this morning, headed for London. And TV really doesn't do one of those things justice. I don't know if you've ever seen one, Bill, but they're just a diminutive little aircraft. Hard to believe they can go as fast as they can.
Noisy.
Very noisy to get up that kind of speed, sure thing. What's coming up at 6?
All right, tonight, a shocking tragedy. The death of an infant in the Maritimes sends a shudder down the spines of parents here. A 29-year-old man is in court to face charges after the death of his infant son. 5-month-old Devin Zwicker died of massive head injuries. The story later.
He's a cheat and a thief. He's our employer. Our employer is a liar, a cheat, and a thief.
Public sector workers across Nova Scotia protest what they say are broken campaign promises by the Savage government. In Dartmouth, protesters changed the name of John Savage Avenue to Liars Lane. First ministers take care of some business at their meeting in Ottawa. 8 provinces in the Yukon signed deals with the feds to cut government waste, but there is much work to be done. We have the latest at 6. And now here are Nancy and Yvonne.
Thank you, Bill. Time now for ATV on your side with Yvonne Colbert, and it's a Mailbag Monday. Time to check out the problems you, our viewers, are having and whether Yvonne has found solutions for them.
Okay, Nancy, we'll get right down to business. Our first letter tonight comes from Tatamagouche, Nova Scotia, and it reads, Dear Yvonne, last July 1993, I ordered the magazine Child. It was offered with free customized inserts, which I wanted for my baby born in September 93. Almost a year later, I still have not received my magazine, despite writing 2 letters and sending a copy of my canceled check. This really disappoints me because Child is an excellent magazine. If you could just help me get my money back or a year of Child magazine, I would be very pleased. And it's signed Kelly Winstanley.
Now, this is just one example of a problem many Maritimers have. You pay for something and you don't get it.
Yeah, and now this magazine, Nancy, was ordered through an Iowa address, and it took a little work to track it down because there is no listing in this particular community in Iowa for Child magazine. However, I did find it, of course, and the solution is in the works. Now, they've agreed to send her the current issue as well as a letter informing her that she will receive her year's subscription starting from the current issue forward. And they're also going to send the customized inserts that she was concerned about. Now, there are no records of her letters. They checked their file, and we're not sure what happened. Letters never seem to get there when you send them in this kind of instance. However, everything seems to be under control and should go as planned from now on.
All right, terrific. Let's solve another problem.
Okay, this one is from West Arishat, Nova Scotia, this letter, and it reads, Dear Yvonne, I would appreciate your help in collecting my July GST rebate. I remember last year you spoke about checking off a box on income tax forms requesting the rebate. I didn't do that and suspect that is why my check has not arrived. Can you help me correct this? And it's from Clifford George. Well, this was a big problem last year. You probably remember it. Yeah, the box was a new thing. A lot of people didn't see it. But I called on behalf of Mr. George to Marilyn Rio over at Revenue Canada, her first day back at work after her vacation, so I couldn't let her off the hook without talking to her. Anyway, she's checking this out. She suspects that's probably why Mr. George didn't get his check, because he didn't check that little box. Once she confirms all that information, she says it will take 4 to 6 weeks for his check to arrive, but at least now he's going to receive it.
Probably something a lot of other people forgot to do as well.
No doubt.
Now, this next thing is not a letter for Mailbag Monday, but we do have a different problem to discuss tonight, don't we?
Well, it's rather unique, Nancy, and it involves a company called Canadian Refund Associates. Now, about a week and a half ago, I did a story on them, and what happens is they operate out of Quebec, and we've talked many times about telemarketing here, where you know, you get a call saying, oh, you've won a big prize, but you've got to send us money first, whether it's for taxes, or to buy pens and papers or whatever. Now, what Canadian Refund Associates do, they operate out of Quebec as well, but they promise to help you if you've been ripped off, if you've been a victim of telemarketing fraud. What they do is they send you basically a disclaimer on their part. They get you to sign it, and they offer to retrieve your prize that you should have got in the first place for you. Now, the agreement that they ask you to sign basically relieves them of any responsibility whatsoever. But, and there's a big but in here, they require you to pay their fee first. Now, what's happening, I've received a couple calls here in the newsroom. They're telling people, oh, we were featured by Yvonne Colbert on television, so therefore we are legitimate and you can trust us. The man's name is Arnold Horshak. He called a lady in Cumberland County using a line like that. I called him today. He wasn't in, but I'm here to tell you that I don't endorse businesses of any sort. And if someone throws my name around, you feel free to call me and check with me, because you can bet that I'm not recommending a company of that nature to our viewers.
Terrific. ATV's Yvonne Colbert is on your side. Thanks, Yvonne.
You're welcome.
Here's Paul. Paul?
I'm right here. Still to come on Live at 5, a terrific idea for your milk cartons besides recycling. And next, it's the wild and wacky, the weird and the wonderful, the plays of the weekend coming right up.
This This is the 95 Neon. Some find it hard to believe that it has more pickup than the Mustang V6 and more front headroom than Honda Accord, Ford Taurus, and Toyota Camry. But when you compare it to cars in its own class, the competition gets a little nervous. With air, automatic, AM/FM stereo, dual airbags, side door impact beams, and more. For a great price, you get the last laugh. The 95 Neon, now at your Atlantic Chrysler team.
At Zellers, since 1931, we've been looking at many ways to continue to lower costs. Pointing to even greater value, look for our lower low price signs throughout the store, with lower low prices on a huge range of merchandise, including top quality name brands. It's part of our ongoing commitment to help you get the most for your shopping dollar. With unbeatable weekly specials in our flyers and everyday low prices, you save even more on national brand names and get free Club Z rewards. At Zellers, because the lowest price is the law.
Where do you go when the kids are in tow and you hear that old refrain? You look in your pocket and all that you've got is $2 to your name. That's easy. Go for 10 bits, go for 10 bits. That's Tim Hortons today. With 10 fresh flavors every day, everyone can have their way. Yeah! You've always got time for 10 bits.
What's your favorite kind?
Time has come, let's take the day. Let's put our toil and cares away. Down at the village, down at the fair, in the arms of my sweet Nova Scotia. Onto the village, come to the fair. There's a feeling that tells you you're welcome everywhere.
Roberto Baggio, the hero for Italy through most of the World Cup, had to wear the mantle of GOAT yesterday. The record books show Italy and Brazil played a scoreless tie. In fact, the game for the first time in World Cup history decided by penalty kicks. And just like Olympic or World Hockey this year, Baggio's miss set off celebrations around the world by expatriate Brazilians. And back home in Brazil, they were going slightly nuts. Today has been declared a national holiday in Brazil. All right, time for the plays of the weekend. One of the most momentous weekends in, say, what? Past 4 years, at least. Let me take you back to the World Cup consolation game on Saturday. Who says there's too little scoring in soccer? The Swedes made up for a lackluster semifinal performance against Brazil by pounding Bulgaria. Great goal there by Forsen, and then this terrific header by Anderson. 4-0 the final in the consolation. Sweden's third-place finish, its best since 1958. Oh, about Brazil, they can also celebrate a win in beach volleyball. This is just a terrific goal here. You didn't know that was happening, did you? It was. Davis Cup play on the weekend. Check this out between USA and the Netherlands. That's something else. There's score going. Can you imagine how amazing quadruples tennis would be? I don't know. Let's keep going, I say. Now check this out.
We should be calling the lines. You can't see a thing. I don't care what you think anymore, because you clearly can't see the ball. I mean, we're having no fun here because you screwed up 5 calls in a half a set.
Hey, Brooke, you think that Johnny Mac is a bit of a hothead? Yeah, hothead? Yeah, exactly. All right, we're going to let Ozzie Smith lead our charge into the baseball plays. Juan Gonzalez of the Texas Rangers coming in with just a great catch. Wouldn't be on the plays otherwise, right? A few days earlier, it was Rusty Greer, even better against the Jays. And coming in hard for the Florida Marlins, they call him David Conine. Running even harder for the Philadelphia Phillies, Billy Hatcher. Hatching up a great catch there. Billy even lands on his feet. All right. Going to the wall, Sammy Sosa of the Chicago Cubs. But first place in the leaping department goes to Brett Butler of the Dodgers, who turns a 3-run home run into nada. He's got the ball. It's an out. Oh, what a play. To the infield, and Roberto Alomar making a good impression on the plays of the weekend staff. They're extremely well paid, I might add. Easiest double play of the weekend, Mark Grace of the Chicago Cubs saying, "Come to Papa." Oh, this is just so, I wish they were all this easy. That's an easy double play. Staying cool under pressure, Craig Biggio handles the ball just in time to get the force. All right, Craig. Coming around third for an inside the park home run. Scratch that. I don't think he's going to make it. Moisey Alou of the Expos. He got waved in. He might have made it if he hadn't fallen. Who is that man with the broom you're asking? It's Deion Sanders, and nothing is going to get in his way of stealing his 33rd base of the season, not even being out of the lineup. Go Deion. Highest paid guy in the crown screw there. It is definitely a job for the Lone Ranger. You're right. We had a bat looking for a belfry this weekend. It did come up short, made it only as far as the TV crew pit, and you know they were amused about that. Hey, there were plenty of foul balls. Our ace camera crew followed this one to the excited lady in the stands. You see her? She's a little excited there. No question. She's got, there's the ball. All right, she was thrilled. Little leg music for you now for a Plays of the Weekend interlude. Okay, break's over. On to the links. Nick Price, cool and calm on the 17th green at the British Open. The ball is going to get eaten by a gopher. No, actually it goes right into the cup. That's an eagle. All right, Nick. Not doing quite as well in the putting department was John Daly. John, you want to try that again? He'll readdress the ball, check his putter, and, oh, gee, John, come on. Double bogey here as he three-putts it. Behind the scenes in baseball, New York Yankees not having much fun. Don't tell me how to do my job. Hey, I'll tell you anything I want. I don't know. A little bit of friction there. A fractured relationship. What? Something about those New Yorkers. They let it all hang out, you know what I mean? Also at the ball game,
that's a new one.
Mommy Dearest. Yes, Mommy Dearest was at the ball game, too. And back to our divorce case, this guy moves really quickly. How quickly, you ask? Well, in case you're wondering, we managed to find Angel in the crowd with another man. Her response, whatever. No question, love as in life, and motorcycle racing has many bumpy roads. And the water course, that isn't a whole lot smoother, especially when you're packing too much cargo. The Plays, we go wild for them every Monday and Friday and live at 5.
Great plays. Hey, not bad. But you know what? You know why I can't talk straight today? It's because I'm still traumatized by the stress of that World Cup final.
It was, well, you know, it's funny, the game wasn't all that exciting.
No,
but then, of course,
kickoff.
you get the penalty kickoff, just like we saw at the Worlds and in the Olympics. And a lot of people in the soccer world are mimicking what hockey fans the world over, particularly in Canada, were saying about that format. What a crazy way to decide a tournament that went, what, 52 games over a month, and that's the way it's decided. And of course, they were talking about, with the implementation of this rule, that some teams would play a very defensive and boring game to get to the penalty kickoff so that they'd have an opportunity to win it. Yeah. But that said, a lot of people were saying that Brazil deserved to win this World Cup, and so they have. And do you think I can find that ratty old Brazil cap I wore for years and years? I threw it out somewhere. I don't know where it is.
Somebody's got it on their wall, I'm sure. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, our primetime lineup, Steve Weagle's Wake Up Weather, and a use for your milk cartons. We're back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Are you on the right road to success?
Interactive computer systems. Experience the world of interactive computer systems. ICS. Experience the technology. ICS. Friendly service and the quality.
ICS has a fully trained sales staff and in-house service department. Call toll-free 1-800-565-4ICS.
Experience the world of ICS.
Don't you just love summer? These young people were jumping off the Albert Bridge into the Myra River today. This is a popular maritime vacation spot, and no wonder, whoa! Bet that water's cold, Paul.
It's actually pretty inviting. A lot of people know that bridge, and the water is just right for that kind of activity. Always check it out first, though, right? Anyways, here's Steve Wiggle with the Wake Up Weather. Steve?
Thanks, guys. Just a few sprinkles tonight and tomorrow, just to keep the lawns and gardens wet. And then we're back to sunny breaks by afternoon across the region. The latest satellite photo up over North America shows a low centered through Hudson Bay and then extending right down the eastern seaboard. And that'll push eastward during the night tonight and tomorrow and give us a few showers overnight. Here's the close-up of it, and we've got a lot of hazy sunshine across the Maritimes right now. Skies are starting to cloud over in western New Brunswick, and as it slides through, we'll see those showers, then clearing skies behind that. So the wake-up weather, a few clouds, a few showers. Bring your umbrella to work, 17 to 18 degrees. Looks like a muggy day for tomorrow. Tomorrow's weather in the afternoon, lots of sunshine, except for the most eastern parts of the region. Guys.
All right, thanks, Steve. And, you know, most recycling programs in the Maritimes now accept those milk cartons, the 2-liter milk cartons and 1 liter that we all get. But you might consider this.
Another idea.
Another idea for your milk cartons. If you don't mind holding on to them, kind of hoarding them for a while, you could enter the milk carton boat race, which is held in Minneapolis every year. This was the 23rd annual on the weekend. Charlie Casserly won it for the 3rd straight year with a 42-foot boat. Made out of nothing but milk cartons.
That's a lot of milk cartons.
Yes, he even had the dove release there as he reached the finish line, and quite a time they had. We thought we'd share that with you.
The Milky Way.
There's something else we want to share with you. Our primetime lineup starts as usual at 6:30 with Full House. Murphy Brown's on at 7. And then at 7:30, Melrose Place. And following Melrose Place, the spin-off show, which is pretty good. Models Inc. at 8:30, Murphy Brown's at 9:30, and our movie tonight, Part 2 of Deadly Matrimony, that's at 10.
Then on the Tuesday edition of Live at 5, it's not your average pedal boat. Far from it, in fact. This maritime invention uses a method that's been around since before mankind, but it's faster than a canoe or a kayak. What's the secret? We'll unveil a renowned boat builder's latest design tomorrow on Live at 5.
And that is it for the Monday edition of Live at 5. Thanks a lot for joining us. Hope you'll join us tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. News continues now on ATV. Here's Bill Mackay. Bill?
Thank you, Paul. Tonight, baby death tragedy. Father charged in fatal beating.
Revealed that he found him fit to stand trial, and as well that there was no mental disorder, which...
Damage control. Red Cross reels after blood bombshells.
I don't know what takes place once it leaves me, but on this end, they do a real good job.
And terra firma. Our sailors are back from Haiti mission.
It's really good to be home. We'll be going again, but that's okay for a while. We're certainly happy to be here, all nice sunshine.
Now, from the #1 news team in Atlantic Canada, the ATV Evening News.
Good evening, everyone. Steve is on vacation. A 29-year-old Halifax man has been charged with killing his 5-month-old son. The baby died in hospital this weekend. His mother says he was suffering from severe head injuries. ATV's sponsor